Hello, hello. Welcome to the third of our online meetups. Today I'm delighted to have Angel Esvella from Easy Life Hypnosis with us. Through various techniques, Angel works with both children and adults to achieve a more positive and happy way of living and to achieve their full potential in life. So Angel, welcome. Please tell us a bit more about yourself.
Thank you, Dee. So I have been working in this field for 18 years now, and like a lot of people on the journey, I guess, of life, you start looking at what's going on in the physical and the emotional and then the mental, spiritual, and bringing it all together. So I was drawn to train as an EFT practitioner and hypnotherapist. And that's what I've been doing for the last 18 years. So I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and I have a real passion for helping people to achieve their full potential, clear any blocks I've got to achieving that in their life.
So Angel, let's get straight into it. Tell us about EFT.
Okay, so EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, or tapping, or we also call it psychological acupuncture. So EFT works on the acupuncture points and meridians in the body. It's been around for probably around about 35 years and was started by a guy called Roger Gallagher, who was working with a woman with a great phobia of water. And he couldn't seem to get past that. And he sat her by a swimming pool and she said, "Oh, I feel a little bit sick." And he said, "Just tap under your eye." And she started tapping under her eye. And she said, "Oh, I think I could get into the pool." And he said, hang on, you know, like, don't jump in there straight away because, you know, you haven't been in water for years. But what she'd tapped on was one of the meridians in her body, which was actually the stomach meridian. And that's what she was feeling, the illness. And it had brought up in her subconscious a fear that she'd had since she was very little. So that's where it kind of started, and he started thought field therapy, and then it went on to what they called, Gary Craig got hold of it and called it EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and he thought there must be one set of points that we can do for everything, because Roger Gallagher used a lot of different points for things. So they trialled it out with people with post-traumatic stress disorder and found that it was very, very successful with helping these guys that had been in the war and that who had such phobias to actually get their life back. And so that's where it's kind of originated from. And I've found it to be one of the most powerful tools that I've used alongside hypnosis. And a lot of the time I might just not even use hypnosis, but use it on its own, and particularly to, in a safe way, to go into those underlying fears, phobias, stresses, whatever. Because what it does is works with the part of the brain that is that fight, flight, freeze mechanism. And that's what a lot of people have gone into in this present moment, is that fight, flight, freeze. So I think it's one of the most powerful tools you could be using at the moment. And it's not, I'm going to do a little bit of it with you today, and it's not something that you have to do for hours and hours on end. You could just do it for a couple of minutes, 10 times a day, a couple of minutes once a day, and it would help you. What I teach you today, you can go away and use yourself. And that's what I love about it. Every client that comes to me, I teach them EFT because it is a self tool. It is a tool that you can go away with and use yourself and not have to have a therapist sit in front of you.
So this would be things like, wow, I'm feeling really stressful at the moment. I don't know what we're going to have in 3 weeks' time. Would you do a tapping to that sort of thing?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because that's, you know, that's fear, isn't it? It's like the unknown, it's overwhelm. And I mean, there's a lot of mixed emotions going on at the moment. So let's just show you. So there's a point here on your eyebrow. Yeah, just on the inside of your eyebrow there. And there's a point beside your eye on that bone, and there's a point under your eye. And if we were doing the face ones, well, I'm not going to touch it, but under your nose, between your nose and your lip, and then on your chin, there's one as well. And then another one is really with a whole hand, but going onto your collarbone here. And we tap on that as well. And then there's one under your arm, which is about where your bra line is. Under your arm, so about where your bra line is. And then on the back of your wrist, so the back of your wrist here, and then on top of your head. And you can either go with your hand like that, or you can use some fingers and tap that way as well. So those are all ends of meridians, and often you'll find that one of them's quite sore, especially where there might be a blockage. So for example, the one under your arm is connected to your liver meridian, and often when I'm doing that, it's a bit sore. So obviously I need to have a bit of a liver cleanse or something, you know, so sometimes, yeah, or if there's, you know, if you hold your emotions maybe in your solar plexus, you might find that the one under your eye is, you know, sore, because that's the stomach one, you know, so it's interesting. And then often they release themselves. Yeah, so.
Doesn't matter if you get it in the wrong order.
No, and that's the thing. And really, if you were doing a quick tap and you were, say, at work, for example, you could just be actually tapping on one point. So you could be just doing like on your chest here, or you could be just tapping here or something like that, and saying the statement, which I'm going to teach you, you know, and just doing one point. So you can't do it wrong. Let me say you can't do it wrong. You're better off to do it anywhere on your body than not at all, to release that fear or fight, flight. Because the thing is that that part of our brain that we're going to be working with, it's been in humans since the day one, and it's the fight flight, which is about, you know, running away from the wildlife that might have been chasing your way back, and that adrenaline producing still goes on, but it's not in the same way that we've got something chasing us, but it's actually the everyday stresses now. And what happens is those stresses build up within the body, and then they accumulate. And when they accumulate, that's when people start to get ill. And certainly at the moment, you want to be doing all you can to keep your immune system and your stresses as low as possible, because as soon as your immune system's run down, or you're really, really stressed, you're more susceptible to getting yourself sick.
So do you want to take us through an exercise and tell us what we're tapping about?
Yeah, so we did talk, Dee, about stress and anxiety. It sounded like most people are feeling pretty okay about that, but also I heard someone say they're not sleeping well, and around guilt. So maybe those are some of the words that we could add on as well. Okay, so we're going to start off. In first place is on the side of our hand here. This is called our setup point, or our karate chop, okay? And we can tap with 2 fingers on the side of our hand. Say, even though I feel stressed, anxious, fearful, not knowing what the future holds, and I haven't been sleeping well, and I feel guilty that I'm enjoying this time, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself, even though I feel stressed, anxious, fearful of the future, not sleeping well, feeling guilty that I'm enjoying it. I'm willing to love and accept myself, even though I feel stressed, anxious, fearful of the future, not sleeping well, guilty. I'm willing to love and accept myself. Okay, stress. Tapping on your eyebrow. And beside your eye, anxiety. Under your eye, fear of the future. On your chest, not sleeping well. Under your arm, feeling guilty, I'm enjoying myself. Back of your hand, stress, anxiety. Fear of the future. Not sleeping well. Guilty that I'm enjoying myself. Stressed. Anxious. Fear of the future. Guilty that I'm enjoying myself. Okay, just put your hand on your chest and take a deep breath in and just blow it out. So everyone, just tune into yourself and feel how your body feels now. Just feel if you feel a bit more relaxed than what you did when we started. So we'll actually do another round of it. So we'll just get it down a bit lower. Okay, so even though I feel stressed, anxious, fearful of what the future brings, guilty, not sleeping, I'm willing to love and accept myself. Even though I feel stressed, anxious, fearful of what the future's bringing, not sleeping, guilty, I'm willing to love and accept myself. Even though I feel stressed, anxious, fearful about the future, not sleeping, guilt, I'm willing to love and accept myself. Feel like I'm losing control. Planning feels lost. I feel sad for others not coping. Concerned not being able to help others. Feel guilty, I'm enjoying myself. Stress. Anxiety. Fear of the future. Losing control. Planning feels lost. Sad sad for others not coping. Concerned not able to do enough for others. Guilty. Stressful. Anxious. Fear of the future. Guilty. Losing control. Planning feels lost. Sad for others not coping. Concerned I can't do enough for others. Okay, deep breath in. And just blow it out. Letting go. Okay, so what we're going to do now, so we always work on clearing the negative first. So the reason we work on the negative is to actually clear out what's going on in our subconscious, what's going on in our emotions, in our body, what's all stored, what's blocking our energy field, because we are just an energy being and we want our energy to be flowing. So by actually clearing out, and the way we're clearing it out is when we're saying I'm willing to love and accept myself, what we're saying is that we're willing to love and accept every part of who we are. Even those parts of us that's negative, those parts of us that's critical, that little voice that says you're not good enough, you know, why are you feeling this way? You shouldn't feel that way. You know, all of those sort of things that we tell ourselves, all of those events and emotions and stuff that we've had happen to us in our life that manifest. Once we can love and accept all of that, all of who we are, then it starts to dissipate away. So resist and it persists. So when we try to just push it away and think it's going to go away by putting that lid on the pot, it will just persist. So when we love and accept it, it dissipates. So we've worked a lot already on some of this negative stuff. We're actually going to now instill some positives. Okay, so how we start off this statement is we say, I now choose to be calm, freedom, highest self, love, inspired, kind, relaxed, optimistic, and I'm willing to love and accept myself. I now choose calm, freedom, highest self, love, inspired, kind, relaxed, optimistic, and I'm willing to love and accept myself. I now choose calm, freedom, highest self, love, inspired, kind, relaxed, optimistic, and I'm willing to love and accept myself. Calm, freedom, highest self, love, inspired, kind, relaxed, optimistic, calm, freedom, highest self, love, inspired, kind, relaxed, optimistic, calm, freedom, highest self, love, inspired. We'll just keep tapping on our head. Kind, relaxed, optimistic. Okay, just take a deep breath in and out. Everybody just tune into yourself now and just see how you're feeling. And what I encourage everybody to do is to use this technique, to go away and use it.
Thanks, Angel. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Bye, everybody.